The last time College GameDay made the trip to Tucson, Arizona was in 2017 when the Wildcats took an L to UCLA. Today, the Wildcats are ranked third, and they welcome Oregon to their house. But here's the thing. They're looking to break a 7-game losing streak to their Pac-12 foe. So this is going to be a really good matchup. Welcome to Countdown to College GameDay, covered by State Farm. Christine Williamson here alongside Phil Murphy. This is your first ever Countdown to College GameDay covered by State Farm?
It is, and the best part about it is this is the business end of the college basketball season. We are 6 weeks to the day from the Final Four tipping off. Insane. So here's where it matters the most. And this Arizona team comes into this game, yes, number 3 in the AP Top 25. They're the highest ranked team without a number 1 vote. So an opportunity to make a statement.
I mean, it's going to be a really good one today. And Phil has been practicing his
Wildcat. I sprained my pinky doing this, so this is for you. All that crew in Tucson that got up way too early on a Saturday morning to get to an arena 12 hours before tip-off. God bless all y'all.
It's at 10 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. We're going to start getting you ready for that. And we're going to start this thing off with the starting 5, where we take a look at all of the games that we're most excited about this week. Now, we start with Illinois versus Michigan State, number 12 versus number 19. This Big Ten matchup played each other on January 25th. Illinois struggled in the final 6 minutes, but managed to fend off Michigan State for a 56-55 win. Both teams are coming off of a loss. Illinois is just 2-3 over its last 5 road games, but Kofi Cockburn is a bucket.
Yeah, and Michigan State just blew a 14-point lead to Penn State. They're not happy about that. Texas Tech, Texas, 11-20 in Austin. This is the Chris Beard Darby left the Red Raiders to coach the Longhorns. Red Raiders got the dub over the Longhorns earlier this month, but keep an eye on Kevin O'Banner.
Love his fireside chats. All right, Alabama versus Kentucky, number 25 versus number 4. The Wildcats claimed a 65-55 win over Alabama in their first meeting on February 5th, and things might be a little different this go around. They're looking to extend their 3-game win streak, so that'll be a good one.
Another ranked v ranked in the SEC. First time these teams are meeting up this season. Arkansas, Tennessee, Razorbacks have won 10 of 11. They're 14-1 at home, but this is their first home game against a ranked opponent. Kennedy Chandler, if you're looking for diaper dandies, as our boy Dickie D talks about, is a real one for the Vols.
All right, Oregon versus number 3, Arizona. This is the one that we're most excited about.
Yep.
They handled business and picked up their 7th straight victory, the Wildcats, on Thursday when taking down Oregon State 83-69. Oregon is fighting for its NCAA tournament livelihood. So this would be a really good one. Very interesting. And like I said at the beginning of the show, Arizona hasn't beaten Oregon in a long time. Okay, we got our guy, King McClure, in the building. What's up, King? How are you doing? We're going to play a little game with King, and we're going to talk about these matchups in a game called Trust or Bust, where basically we're going to give you some matchups, and we're going to ask you if you trust them or if you think that they're going to bust all of your expectations. So we're going to start with that Arizona Wildcats team. So it might not be ranked this way, but Arizona is arguably the best team in college basketball. The Wildcats are playing at the highest level all around, hitting everything from the field, grabbing all the rebounds, coming up with more assists per game than anyone else. So, King, do you trust or bust?
Man, I trust this Wildcat squad. I think they are so talented. They're so deep, their athleticism. Benedict Mathurin, I absolutely love the way that man plays the game of basketball. You will be seeing him on the next level. I like Koloko, one of the best shot blockers in the nation. I love the way they pressure you, the way they push the tempo. I trust this squad.
King, the other half of today's featured game tonight on ESPN and the ESPN app, the Oregon Ducks, they can score a lot of points. They kind of stink at the line. Trust or bust with the Ducks, who preseason number 2 in the Pac-12, but they have losses to Arizona State twice and Cal.
That's an absolute bust. You're right. And I got some homies on that team, Davion Harmon, Jacob Young, but I don't believe in the squad. Wow. I think it's a bust. They score a lot of points, but they don't defend like I would like them to. It's a bust.
You said you had friends on that team and you're over here calling them a bust. That's rude. I would not want to be. I mean, I know we're friends, but now I'm afraid about the fact that we're friends. All right, let's go to number 17, UCLA. So the Bruins continue to be fantastic when it comes to not turning the ball over. Do you trust this team, or is this team a bust?
Christine, first of all, I would never talk bad about you ever. But Secondly, I think this Bruins team is a bust, and here's why. Last year, they struggled with injuries, but they just got hot towards the end. So I never really was a believer of this squad. However, this year, I think it's the same thing. We saw what happened when they played Arizona. We saw what happened when they played Arizona State. I'm just not a believer in the Bruins. I think it's a bust.
I mean, LA apparently is a championship town, and that's where we're sticking for the next trust or bust with USC. Isaiah Mobley's a guy after my own heart. He's complaining that these games are tipping too late. The East Coast crew can't watch. I'm with you, Isaiah. King, are you with USC? Are they a trust or a bust?
I actually like USC. I think Isaiah Mobley, as some would like to say, the other Mobley brother, which I think is mad disrespectful because this dude is good. He's built a name of his own. But I actually like this squad. I think they're talented. I think that they're long. Their athleticism helps them really compete on the defensive end. They share the ball really well. And once again, Isaiah Mobley is that talented down low. I like this team. I actually trust USC.
Okay. I trust you, even though, like I said, I don't know. I wouldn't trust you if I was any of your basketball friends, and maybe that's what it is. Thanks so much, King, for joining us.
Of course.
All right, it's time for the surprisingly great assist, brought to you by State Farm, and we start this thing. Purdue versus Northwestern, and Travion Williams goes behind the back to Ethan Morton for the assist. Beautiful, beautiful play.
Yeah, surprisingly great. Surprise Northwestern altogether. Two defenders didn't see that one coming.
I like how you did that. All right, let's go. Illinois versus Rutgers, and Ron Harper Jr. sees Clifford Omorie cutting to the hoop and goes on top for the alley-oop.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's Amorie.
Wow, Sorry. You're so great at this.
Sorry.
Washington State versus Oregon, and Jacob Young gets trouble in the paint. No worries, though, because Quincy Guerrier with a no-look behind-the-back pass for the dunk.
Yeah, Oregon could use a little bit more of that coming up later today.
Mississippi State, Alabama, Javon Quinterly on the break, flips it behind the back to Jaden Shackelford, who finishes with the easy layup.
No-look passes aren't supposed to be that easy. We're seeing a lot of them in this countdown.
The Mountain Mama versus Oklahoma State, and Bryce Williams throws a high-racing lob to Tyreek Smith. Alley-oop.
Did we just become best friends?
Yep. I feel like they did. They definitely did. All right, let's take a look at this week's Wendys Wooden Watch. Our first player is DePaul freshman Anissa Murrow, who recorded her 20th straight double-double the other night against Marquette. She became just the 40th player in women's Division I history with at least 20 consecutive games with a double-double. The last time she didn't have a double-double, guess.
I know. I have my rundown in front of me. I don't want to guess.
Okay,
it's been a while.
It was December 3rd.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. On the mid side, we have Villanova senior Colin Gillespie, who is coming off a career-high 33 points as he led the Wildcats past number 8 Providence this week. Gillespie is shining once again after a torn MCL, ended his season nearly a year ago.
Yeah, this Villanova team, they just have a way of cranking out these types of guys where it's, a guy who comes in, he was a decent contributor for his entire Villanova career. For each of the last 4 years, he's averaged double digits. But then when these guys become seniors, whether it's Brunson or Hart or whomever, I know Sadiq Bey he left as a junior, but these guys get to a point after a certain number of years in the program where they become bona fide leaders, and it's why this team has 2 national championships in the last 6 years.
Exactly. Do you feel like the expectation was for Colin Gillespie to step up in the way that he did this year?
Absolutely, and I think Jay Wright, this is the type of players he recruits, and he went to a high-level high school program as well, Archbishop Wood. And some of the guys I mentioned, they went to DeMatha and schools like that, so it's all part of the culture and recruiting process that these are the types of guys this Wildcats program brings in. And credit to Colin Gillespie, because we've seen a lot of guys suffer a significant injury like that, and they kind of look toward the next chapter. He put in the hard yards and the long hours to get his way back to a level of fitness, and now here he is averaging a career high in points for a very solid basketball team.
Okay, so I liked, and we're going to talk to Colin Gillespie very shortly, but I liked that he said there's still more work to do.
Yeah.
What else can they possibly do?
Well, I mean, I think that the gold standard, he's looking back at these teams from 2016 and 2018 that were national champions, and that now is the standard for that program. This isn't a team. When they won the national championship in 2016, it was kind of the feel-good story and the late-game heroics there at the end. But now this is the standard. Now they're working their way up to become a Kentucky or Kansas or Duke. I'm sorry for the blue bloods I left out. Don't get in my mentions. It is, but it is that group of 6 to 8 basketball teams that you expect to compete on this level every year. So a first weekend exit from the NCAA tournament just is not sufficient for this team in Philadelphia.
That's very true. The dude is a bucket. Let's take a look at how big of a bucket he is.
An old school team led by an old soul, Colin Gillespie, who's one of the best guards in the country.
All right, we now welcome in the man himself. And Colin, you absolutely went off. 33 points, right? That's a lot. And I just talked to Phil and I asked him what exactly you guys could possibly do, because you captioned your Instagram post and you said there's still more work to do. So what are you still looking to do throughout this rest of the basketball season?
Just to continue to get better. That's what we focus on each and every day, is just having a growth mindset, knowing that whether we won or lost that game, we were going to come back and we were going to learn from our mistakes. We're not perfect, and we know that, and we're just having an open mind and wanting to get better each and every day.
Colin, I want to ask about your personal development. This is your 5th year on the floor for the Wildcats, and you've seen a decent pedigree of leaders, especially those in the backcourt, come and leave this program. Now you are in that position. What were you able to draw from some of the players with whom you shared the floor in the past that you're now able to apply, that you are one of the senior leaders on this team?
Yeah, I've been blessed with so many great leaders before me, so many guys that I've had the ability to look up to, and guys like Jalen Brunson and Phil Booth, Mikal Bridges, Dante DiVincenzo, Eric Paschal. There's been so many guys that I've been able to see before me as leaders and as players, and just watch them. But just the attention to detail every day, how hard they work, and I really couldn't ask for much more coming as a freshman, having Jalen Brunson as an older brother to look up to.
All right, Colin, you tore your MCL, and I know it's very hard to come back from an injury, especially one like that, and then go into your fifth season and still play at a level like you are right now. What has been the hardest process of that whole entire thing?
Probably just the recovery process and getting back to full strength. It was frustrating, for sure, not being able to do stuff in the summer with my teammates, but just having an open mind and knowing that I was going to get back there at some point and just working hard to get there was really big for me, and just believing that I was going to get back there was huge.
Colin, big game coming up tonight against Georgetown. You're coming off a career-high performance, 33. Against Georgetown, last time you played, you hit 6 threes, had 28 points. What is the approach, having the hot hand and a measure of confidence there to balance out the personal contribution, but also taking what Georgetown might give you, because they know you're a guy on whom they should have keyed in maybe a little more last time you played?
Yeah, like you said, just taking what they give us, making the right play, not hunting shots, but just taking what they give us. I mean, I have full confidence in my teammates. We have so many great players that are so skilled, so just taking what they give us and making sure that we're playing hard and we're playing Villanova basketball for 40 minutes, and everything else will take care of itself.
Okay, Colin, you seem like a very serious guy. So we're going to have a little fun right now, okay? We're going to do a little rapid fire questions. And do you know what rapid fire is? Like, you have to be quick and on your toes. And I say this every single week, but I draw it out a little bit too longer. Okay, so the first is, are you a phone call person or a texter?
Text.
Okay. I feel like that's all young folks. I text too. I'm young. It's fine.
I'm a texter too, and I'm not a young folk. Okay, Colin, this one's more of a, one of these like job interview psychological questions. I think it tells a lot about you. What is the best day of the week?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Friday.
Why Friday?
Just knowing the weekend's coming up.
Right.
Okay, I guess it makes sense.
Work's been put in.
So I had not an argument, but a conversation with somebody this past weekend because they don't like pie. Are you a cake or pie guy?
Neither.
What?
Not a dessert guy.
I'm sorry. What do you eat for dessert?
No.
You don't like dessert?
I ice cream or cookies, but I'll eat my mom's homemade chocolate chip cookies, but I don't really love cake or pie.
Are you
high-level athlete?
Sweets? Do you not like sweets? What's going on?
Doesn't build itself.
That's true.
No, I do love sweets. It's just not cake or pie.
Okay.
It's not me.
Okay.
All right, Colin, then we'll stick with the protein side of the conversation, which is my MO. Make the case. What is the best way to cook a steak?
Medium or medium well.
Medium well. Okay. A little more heavy than I would go, but I respect it.
I'm like not a steak person, so I guess that's the same thing as not being a cake or pie.
Well, that's why you had the dessert question.
Exactly. Okay, this is a question that like has a yes or right or wrong answer, okay? What does swag stand for?
I have no idea.
Okay, I will tell you right now, I had no idea, and I'm actually disappointed. It means stuff we all get.
See,
Isn't that weird?
See, we're trying to keep you off balance because I know you got the basketball questions down, Pat, man. You've been talking about this for 4 or 5 years. We're talking food. We're talking acronyms, I guess. But something you do know well. I've actually never set foot on campus at Villanova, and it's definitely on a bucket list to get to a game, on or off campus. But make the case for us. If I were to rock up to campus in or around, what is the best place to eat and why?
I mean, you would have to go into Philly and probably get a cheesesteak for sure. And then I would tell you to go to D'Alessandro's for sure.
So you're a cheesecake guy?
Cheesesteak.
Oh, a cheesesteak. Okay.
Still protein. Not dessert.
Just not dessert. Do you like
You would
cheesecake?
have to go into Philly.
Here it is, 10 in the morning, and she wants to talk dessert.
Do you like cheesecake?
No, I don't like cheesecake.
What? Okay, I don't know if we can be friends, but thanks so much, Colin, for joining us
Cheesesteak, man, you're good. It's going well for you. You got a great thing going at Villanova. Thanks for the time.
Keep balling.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, this is at the University of Arizona campus in Tucson, where College GameDay is set to come at you at the top of the hour on ESPN and the ESPN app. Any good signs out there? Happy birthday. That's a good one.
I saw a Wordle one earlier.
Are you a Wordle player?
I am. I'm a nerd. I tweet out my scores.
Oh, you tweet them?
Go on and make fun.
No, that's a little bit too much. It's a little chuggy, I will say. Okay, so hey, it's crazy to think about the fact that March is like around the corner, which means that we need to start looking at our brackets and figuring out who exactly is going to go far in the tournament. So what better person to talk about this subject than Joe Lunardi himself? Joey, brackets. What's good? How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Okay, so we're going to play a little game called Who's on the Bubble, because you are a guy that can definitely inform us in that regard. So we're going to start with Rutgers, who isn't just beating ranked teams, they are absolutely dominating them with a relentless, hard-nosed style of play. Number 12, Illinois, became the 4th straight ranked team to fall to the Scarlet Knights. So do you feel like this Rutgers team is underrated?
I think they're underrated in terms of the metrics that we follow at this time of the year, but they're not underrated in terms of those of us who pretend to pick teams for the tournament, because their resume is more than good enough at this point. I would say Rutgers in.
Joe, we'll go to the last 4 in. Michigan falls into that last 4 in category. They had a slow start, 7-7 in mid-January. Now 14-10, 7-6 in the Big Ten. Again, the slow start surprised. Given that this team was supposed to be one of the top teams in the conference, Joe, what do they need to do between now and Selection Sunday in a few weeks' time to not just be last 4 in, but just in?
They did the most important thing this week, which is winning a significant road game at Iowa, another likely NCAA team. And I think the Wolverines at this point, if they can get 3 more wins, they have 5 regular season games left plus the Big Ten tournament. I think if they can get 3 more wins, they'll finish on the right side of the bubble.
All right, let's talk first 4 out. BYU, Oregon, SMU, and San Diego State. Let's talk about Oregon, who obviously has a really big matchup today. They were picked to finish 2nd in the Pac-12, yet the Ducks started the season 6-6 and have some losses that just don't absolutely make sense. So you got this team as one of the first 4 out. What does this team need to do to change your mind?
Well, maybe by midnight Eastern tonight, they've changed our minds by going into the McHale Center and pulling off a big upset. I don't know how likely that is, but they can't play worse than they just did Thursday at Arizona State. So Oregon has a big opportunity. They need to cash it in. You mentioned BYU, same time tonight. They're at St. Mary's, and the Cougars desperately need that road win.
Joe, before we get the next four out, I have a very quick question for you regarding Oregon. Next three games are against the three teams ahead of them in the Pac-12 standings, Arizona, USC, UCLA. Is there a magic number of how many of those they need to win to get on the right side of the bubble?
I think 2 out of 3 would certainly do it. 1 out of 3 keeps them alive heading into that Pac-12 tournament in Vegas.
All right, similar resume type question for the Virginia Tech Hokies. They're currently on the next four out. And at this stage of the season, once we get to conference play, in the early stages of conference play, the bubble starts to shrink, right? Like if Gonzaga loses in their conference tournament, the bubble gets smaller. What do the Hokies need to do to claw their way into that field of 68?
How about a winning streak?
Hey.
You know, they've been in a win one, lose one situation for quite a while. And in a normal ACC, hanging around the middle and playing 500 in the league is enough. But that's not the case this year because there simply aren't enough big-time wins to be had in the conference. So they need a winning streak.
Well, thank you so much, Joe, for all of your insight. I am not a guy. First of all, I'm not a guy, but I'm not a person that likes to fill out my bracket. However, you make me feel smarter. Okay? Thank you so much for that.
Well, anything we can do to help. My wife doesn't feel that way.
Thanks so much, Joe. All right, this is Countdown to College Game Day, covered by State Farm, getting you ready for College Game Day from the University of Arizona at the top of the hour on ESPN and the ESPN
There's
app.
my
Here
Wordle.
are the
There's my Wordle.
guys.
College Game Day returning to McHale Center in Tucson. First time since 2017. What a squad the Wildcats have. Likely to be a #1 seed when the selection committee reveals its early seeding list. Coming up later on today, Reese Davis, LaFonso Ellis, Seth Greenberg, and Jay Billis here. So we're 3 weeks and a day away from Selection Sunday. When you look at the schedule today, who's a team that could really use a win for their tournament standing?
I think it's Michigan State. They're playing Illinois, and Illinois, Kofi Coburn has been spectacular over the last several games, and he's just a load inside. But Michigan State's defense needs to continue to improve, and they have to do a better job taking care of the ball. That's been an issue all year long, and those two things are connected. You toss the ball away, your defense can't get set, you're giving up easy baskets. Izzo calls them turnovers for touchdowns. They take care of the ball, run good offense. Michigan State has a great chance to win a home game against Illinois.
Okay, so let's look at it from a negative point of view, or at least
why are you coming to me on the negative point of view?
I just mean, who needs to avoid a loss? A loss could be damaging to the resume.
I think to both teams, Virginia Tech and North Carolina. Think about this. Both of those teams, they're void of a quad one win. There has never been an at-large team from a Power 5 conference that's gotten it to the NCAA tournament without a quad one win. North Carolina, they get a win on the road to Castle Coliseum, and you don't just roll into Castle Coliseum and get an easy win. They get that win, that'll be a quad one win. On the other hand, Virginia Tech, they've won 6 in a row, and they're just trying to continue to build their resume. This time of the year, you just need to win games and stay alive. I call it BG games, staying alive. Look it up, kids. Look it up, kids.
Okay, and in this game, I know what you guys want to hear about. The Arizona Wildcats against an Oregon team that's suddenly not playing as well as it was. What to watch for tonight?
Yeah, for Oregon to have a chance to win this game, they've got to shut down the high-octane offense of this Arizona team. They averaged 19 points in transition. They've got to get back and set their defense. And this Arizona team is a monster on the offensive glass. They get over 37% of their misses. That's 9th amongst major conference schools. And so if Oregon, in order to win this game, they've got to make them play in the half court and got to keep them off the offensive glass.
Coming up on College Game Day, top of the hour, why the balance of power in college basketball has shifted west. And we're not just pandering to the crowd when we say things like that. Gene Wojciechowski's with us, a tremendous story, a profile and inspiration. Dunks of the year, and can somebody please win the $19,000 with a State Farm half-court shot?
Can I make the pass?
Oh, my goodness. That atmosphere is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder, though, if they can keep up that same energy.
Gotta keep your
all
pace.
the way until 10 p.m.
You got a long time before
Hydrate,
tip-off.
take a nap. I don't know what you guys got to do, but you definitely need to do it. All right, we're going to play a game called Ask My Advisor. We're going to take a look at some of the things that we've seen on social media, videos, pictures, etc. And we're going to offer some advice to some of the people that we see, which I haven't looked at. Did you see them earlier?
I haven't, no.
I haven't. This is a blind reaction, okay? Everybody's reacting at the same time. So let's see the first one, all right? UNC versus Clemson. The Tar Heels go to inbound the ball, and Armando Bacot decides he wants to try acting.
Oh. All right, so we just saw the NBA celebrity game, right, where actors and musicians want to be basketball players, and some are decent basketball players. You know, that's a two-way street. I thought Kevin Garnett was terrific in Uncut Gems. Armando, not saying he can't do it. It's just going to take some work to get to the level of acting to be serviceable.
There was that one time where like LaMelo Ball, I think they were playing the Lakers, and he like got fouled a little bit and then just like acted like he was dead. Here's the thing. Have you ever played basketball?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you a flopper? Are you a flopper?
No.
Okay.
But I'm a soccer player, so I'm a flopper.
But I understand the concept of flopping because I really truly believe that there is a point in your life where you do feel like you have to react like that. Like you do think that it's going to be.
You got to let the referees see the contact and see the foul in any sport. But if you swing and miss, you end up on the wrong end of things here, and these advisors. Phil and Christine will hate on you a little bit.
I feel like the advice is just make sure there's a little bit more contact in that situation because who knows what's just going on. All right, UCLA versus Arizona State. Okay. Sometimes coaches need advice too. So here we got the Sun Devils head coach, Bobby Hurley, looking to call a timeout.
This one hits home.
But it also looks like he might need a call for a new shirt.
This one hits home. Sorry, guys.
So since this is
Christine makes this studio like a sauna.
I do. It feels really good. It's hot. How are your armpits?
I just showed them.
Oh wait, I didn't see that.
It's all. I'm all hot and bothered, and it's I am the type. Generally, when I do TV, I sweat like Paris Hilton in a spelling bee.
Okay.
So I need it cold in here, and I come in, and it's like, man, it's a little toasty. And the first thing you said to me, prior to even the hello, is, oh, it's so warm in this studio.
I love it when it's nice and toasty.
So that's what I'm saying. Desert Financial Center, whatever they're calling the ASU campus, Coach Hurley has some pull. I don't have pull in here. I can't say, hey guys, can you kick it down 7 or 8 degrees? He can.
Yeah. But like,
he should.
Is there not
That's
a deodorant
the advice.
that can take out the perspiration?
I haven't found it. It's probably not healthy if it is.
That's true. It's just blocking every single pore
can't be good
in your
for me.
armpit. Not a good idea.
So that's why I do TV like this.
All right, let's go Nebraska. So when your teammates make a big play, you got to show them some love. Check out the celly from the Cornhusker women.
Yeah.
What advice would you give their bench?
None. They're ready. Look, as soon as that ball went up, my girl 15, look at her. She's like in position, anticipating, good foot movement, synchronization.
Wow. Also,
10 out of 10.
It took I wonder how long it took them to practice that.
I mean, I imagine a decent bit, but some of them hadn't taken their warm-ups off, so
like one girl might have been actually injured.
They kind of know, like, hey, I'm not going to play, significant minutes here. May as well contribute. And
also,
let's keep it a buck. Would the Huskers ladies, would they be on this show if not for that?
That's true. That's actually very true.
Credit to them.
Yeah, that's very true. Let's go to Dominican University of California. After a huge win, Sister Marion got the team hyped to celebrate. What advice would you have for Dominican?
Listen to Sister Marion. We saw Sister Jean.
Yeah.
God bless her, all 102 years of her, I think, now for Loyola Chicago.
Right.
Be the central figure. But I mean, Sister Marion's got those girls hyped.
Oh my goodness. I wonder how, I'm trying to hear how, yeah, she's like pretty loud.
And you know what? Volume, it isn't even there. She's able to galvanize that team. And we saw, again, Sister Jean. I'm sorry for doing the nun-to-nun comparison, but it's the best we got if we're doing apples to apples. Sister Jean was the central figure in that Final Four run.
That's very true. That might be exactly what they need in order to go far.
A little divine intervention.
Exactly. So big matchup in the Pac-12. We're getting ready for that one. Who do you have in this Arizona-Oregon matchup? I have Arizona comfortably. I mean, just seeing Oregon, a team that their 3 worst losses, Arizona State twice, Cal, they lost at home by 14. They're coming off that rough loss to Arizona State.
I'm going Arizona. I think is favored by 13 in this game. I think somewhere in that 10 to 15 point window feels right. Oregon's just thrown away too many opportunities this year.
Let's talk Villanova Georgetown really fast because Georgetown has a 17-game losing streak too. I would say that's a rivalry, right? Do you feel like they're going to be able to break it today?
I still have confidence in Villanova just because we had Colin on the show, and this isn't because he's a new friend of the show and he has okay taste in dessert and protein and those types of things. But I saw how well he played against Georgetown. I didn't want to say it, put the pressure on him, but I think he goes for like a cool 20 to 25 again today, has a very strong game.
Okay, well, I'm just going to take whoever the underdog is because I I'm always in
So you're going with the Ducks.
I'm always in a March mindset.
That's why they booed you in Tucson during our pre-show.
I wasn't throwing it up. Enough. All right, that'll do it for us. Thank you for watching Countdown to College Game Day. Go watch all of our bald friends in Weiss Davis on Game Day, and we will see you next week on Countdown to College Game Day, covered by State Farm. Also,
College GameDay is back on the road, and we get to be back amongst the people. How great is this?